Chris Bergeron. Hey, Berge, appreciate you getting a couple of moments here with us as we get into our Miami post game. So your thoughts on the game here tonight? You came out on fire. You had 5 shots on goal. You got a power play goal, hit a post as well, but then everything kind of slowed down after that. I guess you got to give Western Michigan some of the credit.
Sure, absolutely. Full credit to them. But from the last shift of the first period through the end of the game, it was as bad of a hockey game as I've seen in my time here, as we've seen in our time here. The lack of competition, the lack of playing the game the proper way, pretty disappointing.
What do you? What do you? I guess. How do you justify that, or how do you? What caused something like that to happen?
Well, you can't justify it, Wads. That's one of those things. I take full responsibility, but we can only do so much. We can only say it so many times. We can only try to talk about it and show it and those kind of things. But tonight was an absolute lack of willingness to compete at the Division I hockey level. I mean, that's again from the last shift of the first period through the end of the game, and unfortunately, we left our young goaltender out to dry. And I overheard somebody speaking. I'm not sure who it was, but I totally agree. It could have been a lot worse if he hadn't been in the net.
Yeah, that was Drew Davis. And Drew, I know you want to ask Coach here.
Well, actually, going to ask exactly about that. You mentioned the young goaltender, and if Pearson's not in there, to look at a bright side tonight, I think you saw a terrific performance. He bailed you guys out on some occasions. So what can you say about the way that Pearson has continued to play in net?
Well, I think if I'm Ludwig Pearson right now, I'm taking my stick to some people in that dressing room, because that's the way it felt like. You're going to leave me on an island out there, and we're talking about a willingness to compete. Again, it's difficult to make people compete. That's where Western Michigan lost 2 games at home last weekend. They came in here with a purpose and a plan, and they got popped in the mouth in the first period, and they hung in there. But I know that wasn't the question. The question is, we just he's a good goaltender, and we just left him on an island tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you can't rely on a goaltender to bail you out every single time. What was it? I mean, if you look at things, what was the thought going into the locker room after the first period? They battled right to the end and got that goal with a little less than 2 seconds to go. That seemed like that was kind of the momentum switch.
Yeah, I agree. The thought that we were trying was to tell our group not to let that throw them sideways, and unfortunately it did. It was an ugly play. We had more than one opportunity to get that puck out of our zone, and then at the end we have one of our so-called top players skate over the puck and they shoot it in the net. So what we were hoping is that the 15-minute break comes at a perfect time so we can regroup, and obviously that's not what happened.
Then another key part, I think, the 5-minute major power play in the third period. They had great shorthanded opportunities, and I think they had more scoring opportunities than you did on that power play.
Yeah, that was the turning point, Wads. That was nothing more than a result of what the period and a half before that looked like. One team hungry, playing the game the right way, and the other team not.
Obviously, you guys play Western Michigan tomorrow, so how do you guys prepare for Western Michigan right after today's game?
Well, we have to be able to cut this loose. I mean, obviously, we played really poorly. So that you first and foremost have to start with yourself. We're not going to talk about Western Michigan and what they did. They took advantage of a team that wasn't ready to compete and took it to us. But the way we'll try to prepare is rest tonight, and then just go back to work tomorrow with the bar that we've set for ourselves, whether it be individually or collectively. There's a bunch of guys that need to play better.
Here with forward Ryan Savage. Feel free to start with some questions, and I'll call on you whenever we're ready. I guess I'll start. Your goal in the first period, how did it feel to get the first goal of your season in the first?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to get the monkey off the back. Especially on the power play. We struggled earlier in the year, and now we're starting to kind of get it going, so it's nice to get the first one out of the way.
And how do you feel about your team's performance tonight? Obviously, it didn't go the way you guys wanted, but how do you feel about the play you guys had, and how do you go into tomorrow's game?
Yeah, we didn't play a 60-minute game. Obviously, we didn't play good enough. It's obviously a team game, and we need all the guys to pitch in and do their part and play a full 60-minute game, and that's what we're going to try to do tomorrow.
Ryan, Greg Waddell, and Drew Davis with you here. The game, I mean, your goal got things started, and you started off really strong for the first 5 minutes. What was it the Western changed around after you guys grabbed the lead and you hit the post as well? I mean, there was a chance to go 2-0, but then they kind of turned the tides on you a little bit, and then the momentum kind of changed with that goal at the end of the first period. What did they do to change things up?
They adjusted well. I mean, we didn't play our game the full 60 minutes, obviously, and it showed on the scoreboard. Hopefully we can change that around and create better chances and have a better outcome tomorrow.
Ryan, over the course of last weekend and then early on in this game, obviously you getting the power play goal, the power play had started to look up. It had been gaining momentum, but you had that 5-minute major. What can you attribute that to, the 5-minute major, giving up scoring opportunities to the shorthanded team and not really being able to convert there?
Yeah, that's something that we need to get better at. We need to capitalize on our chances, especially when they give us a 5-minute penalty like that. We should be hungry, and we need to go out there and perform better.
Ludwig Pearson is with us now as we continue on the Miami postgame. Hey, Ludwig, Greg Waddell, and Drew Davis with you. And hey, we haven't got to meet face-to-face yet, so we're looking forward to getting a chance to someday meet up with you. But we've loved what we've seen from you in these first stretch of games that you've gotten to play. Tell us your thoughts on your first, 8 games or so playing for Miami, playing here in Oxford this weekend.
First of all, it's been awesome to play college hockey. I love it so far. It's been a good couple of first games here, and it was really exciting to come to Oxford and play at home finally. But it's been fun so far. Even the bubble was a great experience, and everything has been great so far.
And I wanted to ask you about that bubble situation. I mean, you're a freshman coming in. Not only are you a freshman, but you're coming in from overseas, although you did get to play in the States a year ago in junior hockey. But what was that whole experience like for your transition coming to college? I mean, luckily you had a few months, I guess, to go to classes while you were here in Oxford before the season started. But how's that transition been in the craziest of situations?
Obviously, it was very different, not what I expected, but we were all really happy to just play games, and I just try to make the best out of the situation and just go and play. And I'm really impressed how the pod how it turned out and how they did everything, and it was an unreal experience. So, and the transition has been really good so far.
Ludwig, with the game today, obviously did not go in the debut on the home ice the way that you wanted it to go. But looking ahead, what needs to happen really to turn the tide moving into tomorrow? You've got this team that you beat twice and then lost unfortunately tonight. But what can you do? What can the team do better so that you don't necessarily have to stand on your head quite so much to perform tomorrow night?
We need to follow our game plan. I like Ryan said, we didn't follow our game plan 60 minutes, and need to get more shots, create some more chaos in front of the net, and get some lucky bounces and just keep battling. I feel like we didn't really put pucks on net tonight to create some opportunities, and we need to do that tomorrow.
How about the start that you've had? A lot of people are looking and saying, Ludwig Pearson, look at this guy at Miami, and people are taking notice. To you, are you surprised by what you've been able to accomplish in this first portion of the season?
Yeah, well, it's always to get attention and play well, but try to take one day at a time and just work hard and see what happens. I love this sport, and just trying to be better every day and get to my goal one day. So I'm just working hard.